Aristotle, is one of the greatest philosophers of all time, in his greatest book of his on metaphysics, the best he could do with all his great philosophy, in the culmination, the high point, the acme of his whole study, was that he came back to everything, relates back to a one uncaused cause. That's the highest that he could go. Therefore, do we conceptualize this philosophic value level as the I am? It's a starting point for us. It helps us to get some little inkling of simultaneous sequence. At the same time, instructing all creatures that the Eternal Son and the Infinite Spirit are co-eternal with the I am. In other words, there never was a time when the I am was not the Father of the Son and with him of the Spirit. I don't know if this helps or not. It's the only way I can get even a little bit of it is by going over it and over it and over it and getting little glimpses now and then. But that's what the book is for. If we understood a book in the first reading, it wouldn't be worth our while because we already understand it. So we have to go over it and over it and over it. Then it's a great book. The infinite is used to denote, up above there, we saw the concept, why they use the concept I am. Now we said why we use the word infinite. The infinite is used to denote the fullness, the finality, implied by the primacy of the first source and center. The theoretical I am is a creature philosophic extension of the infinity of will. But the infinite is an actual, not a philosophic extension, is actual value level representing the eternity intention. The other is a creature philosophic extension of the infinity of will. This is the eternity intention of the true infinity of the absolute and unfettered will of the universal Father. Two different things here, very two different things. This concept is sometimes designated the Father Infinite. And that is what we're trying, what God I think wants us to understand when our whole course is done, not just this course of reading this book, but when our whole career as creatures, when we become mature as God's sons, as sons of God. He wants us to understand the Father Infinite in an experiential way. And we will do that if we follow the plan of God, which is one of progressive ascension, which we're already in. We're all doing it one way or another as best we can, I guess. Much of the confusion of all orders of beings, high and low, in their efforts to discover the Father Infinite is inherent. There are limitations of comprehension. And you can see this juggle I'm having to understand this, and I'm sure most people have, in trying to figure out what this is all about. It's the inherent, our limitations of comprehension. The absolute primacy of the universal Father is not apparent on sub-infinite levels. That's a good sentence, too. The absolute primacy of the universal Father is not apparent to us how we are dependent totally upon him. We think we can do things without him. It's only the eternal Son and the infinite Spirit who truly know the Father as an infinity. They know, just like a word has no reality except by reason of the concept. And you can't have an expression except you have the word. So they know how dependent they are upon each other. We think God made us, and we think we're independent of God. There's no possible way. And one of the great beauties of this book is to show us how totally dependent, how primal God is in our lives. Even though we don't fully comprehend it, we are. So I've mentioned earlier that we cannot even think without the mind God in place. Same way here. All these things, we cannot exist at any of these levels except by God being with us. So therefore it's probable that only the eternal Son and the infinite Spirit truly know God as infinity. To all other personalities, such a concept represents the exercise of faith. We simply believe that we are totally dependent upon God. We don't really realize how dependent we are. If we did, we'd be in paradise praising him eternally.